Happy Self-Love Sunday. I am Moe Sass, the host of Self-Love Sundays with Sass. I am a certified life coach who likes to consider herself an aide in the village that walks alongside people throughout their journeys to help them achieve the life they so desperately they desire, whether that's in terms of financial freedom, relationships of all kinds, meaning marriage, parenthood, business relationships, or even starting that new business, right? Or maintaining the one that you have. I like to say that I am the healer's healer, honey. If you come and sit before me, we are definitely going to heal some things. We are definitely going to remove those blind spots, those things that are just in the way of you achieving the life that you desperately desire. So every Sunday we come here to talk about all the things, and today will be no different. But first, I would like to say, if you would like to book a session with me, it is www.moessass, all as in Sam.com. Also, you can email me at info@moesass.com. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, today I want to talk about the continue from last week. So if you were not here last week, please go back to my YouTube channel. I also post this on my Instagram and Facebook pages, Life Coaching with, not the whole W, the whole word with, but W, Sass. You can check it out there as well. But last week we talked about going into the newness and what are some of the things that we must say no to in November in order to have the new things that we desire, right? Because what we're learning is we cannot still hold on to the old and then bring in the new. We have to let go of some of the things of the old in order to make room for the new things to come into our lives. And most times when I'm talking about is old thought patterns, beliefs, character traits, all those things that no longer serve you, A, and B, can't go where you're going in this new season. Because, again, I said last week, most times people think I'm just talking about like people. No, that's not really what this is. It's once you level up in mindset, there's a possibility that the people, places, and things that you are around may not be there anymore. But again, if you're married, right, it's not, oh, let me, level up and leave my husband or leave my wife. No, that's not what that is. Most times, especially when I'm talking to married couples, it's, stop looking across, blaming your spouse and looking for them to do all these things and looking for them to do all these changes when you're not willing to do any changes yourself, right? So that may mean that you get in tune and in touch with yourself and start healing yourself from head to toe, right? And going in with a selfless, I'm here to serve, instead of a selfish, serve me. I said what I said, fight me later. Okay, so this week, I want to kind of expand on that a little more because I talked about, the holidays coming and people are, there's a lot of different mixed emotions with the holidays. So I always like to use my family where, Thanksgiving is a beautiful day of celebration for some people. Some people don't even celebrate it at all. So, if you don't celebrate that at all, this is not for you. But this particular point is about those who celebrate. Well, we lost my aunt, she was a year older than me. My grandmother had 12 children, and she was a year older than me Thanksgiving morning, right? So it's not always a time of high, lovely emotions. It can be, but it's not for everybody, right? So that first year that we experienced that, we weren't really feeling it. It was kind of like a somber thing. So that's why now Thanksgiving has become a little bit more important. It's become a time of celebration because we know what it is to lose someone on that day. You understand what I mean? So the mixed emotions that may come up during the holidays for people who have lost people, there's a lot that goes with that. So that's why it's so important before the holiday season to really start working through some of these feelings and emotions, because emotional intelligence is everything. We can't go into this holiday season being triggered all over the place and having all these emotional outbursts about all these things. It's time to really start to heal, okay? And in that healing, if that means this holiday season that that you may be anxious about some things, maybe set strong boundaries. This is the holiday to set strong boundaries, to say, you know what, that's not something I want to talk about today. When they bring up a topic or they ask you a question, it's okay to say, you know, today I just want to celebrate. I just want to be in the moment. I don't want to talk about what happened yesterday. I really don't want to think about anything that's going to happen in the future. I just want to enjoy the day. That's okay to do. The only people who will be upset at you setting strong boundaries are those who either benefit for you not having them or those who don't have any at all. And that's on them. I am very strong with my boundaries. I'm telling you, like, I'm very strong with my boundaries. And here's the thing, that's not just in terms of something, you know, not so positive about, even with my good stuff. Even with the things that's going good, sometimes it's going so good, I set the boundary that I don't want to talk about it because I just want to marvel in my goodness. Come on, somebody. I just want to marvel in my goodness. And understand that sometimes you because you're so excited about your goodness, you'll have a premature conversation and people will have so much to say and talk you out of your good thing. You see what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, so what must you say no to? Say no to those conversations. Say no to those people who don't have boundaries. Hey, listen, I do have them. And I'm sorry that I'm not sorry about that. I'm not ready to talk about that today. That's okay to do. And if they get upset, I'm sorry that you're getting upset about my life, right? And I'm still not ready to talk about it. And I will continue to shut the conversation down, even if that means that, you know what? We can agree to disagree, and I'm going to go to the bathroom, right? Getting away from the conversation, whatever that takes, right? Getting up and giving yourself a moment instead of sitting in it because you're feeling your emotions boiling to the top. Why do that? Surrender to the drama this holiday season. I really want to say that. So many people are filled with so much drama. We're talking about this person and what they're doing and not doing. They're talking about you and what you're doing. Can we surrender to the drama of it all? Like, if it's not about peace, love, and I understand that it can't always be there, and I understand that there are problems in the world and things that are going on, I get that. But if you already understand that the people, because listen, these people are who they are. Come on, y'all, we're going to stop playing today. If you already know they have very strong opinions about things, and this is not to say that we don't welcome in different opinions, it's to say, why can't we just enjoy the holiday? Why must it be like every other year where we have these conversations that are not going to go anywhere and we're just going to argue about a bunch of things because everybody is so stubborn in their own ways and no one's willing to be open to really hearing the ideas, thoughts, of opinions of someone else? It's about getting real, right? Let's get real with each other. You already know. So save yourself the heartache. Surrender to the drama of it all. It's time to let go so you can grow into this new space. Again, what must you say no to? Say no to the drama of it all. Listen, first of all, like if you're in your 40s or 50s, you've been through a few relationships. You know, this is just for my single folks. Let me talk to you guys for a minute because I have single clients. And again, if you are someone who really are feeling some angst about this holiday seasons and about going into it, reach out to me. Let's talk about it. Let's get you in a space, in a healing space or a space to give you some tools to really walk through this holiday season. Some tools on how to set boundaries because I can't give it to you all in these videos. Some tools on what to say, some tips on what to say, right? There's been some holidays where I haven't even gone to a holiday. I stayed home. Like, I'm just being real with y'all. I've stayed home. And why do I do that? Because I'm the type of person that if I'm feeling if I know my emotions are heightened and I'm just not in a great place, I understand that my energy is strong. I'm not going to go ruin everybody else's holiday because I'm in a funky mood. Come on, somebody. If you know you're a person that transmutes energy, don't do that to people. I've learned now that I've done a lot of emotional intelligence training, I know what to do to get myself in a space and get into my higher self. And normally, yes, it takes, and we know I talk about it every single Sunday. Yes, it takes me getting in touch with my higher source. It also, and I'm just going to say it, I don't care who you call your God. We are all one. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your sex is. I don't care if you claim the sex or don't claim the sex. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to tell you that there is a higher source that if you don't understand, you get to be plugged into that will help you on your journey. I don't even know how some days I can make it without it. I'm just going to tell you. And people ask me that all the time. How is it that you've gone through all you've gone through? And I know I'm backtracking a little bit, but somebody needs to hear this. How have you gone through all you've gone through? Burying 2 sons, dealing with, divorce, breakups, terrible breakups, all that stuff, losing my home, actually doing a short sale on my big house, so having to move into, rent, and to like buy my time, like all the things, right? All the things, which to me is all material things. If I've had great friendships, relationships that, have gone to the wayside. Like, how do you get through all of that? Truth be told, God. Everybody says it, and it's like, oh, it's cliche. No, it's not. No, it's not. And there are some other things, of course, that I had to do in terms of, forgiveness, emotional intelligence training. I have done a lot of education just to help me get to a certain space in life. So I say all that to say that if you desire that or if you need that, reach out to me. Why go into the holiday season the same way, knowing that you're going to get the same results, talking about those same things? My single folks, let's talk. Let's talk. So you don't have to do that. Okay. So because, what happens in that too is I find that some people will bring home anybody just to bring somebody home just to avoid that conversation. Why are you doing that to yourself? What must you say no to? How about it's time to say no to quantity and work to quality? I'm going to say that again. How about it's time to say no to quality and work towards quantity? I am a woman that believes in quality over quantity. I am not having a million souls around me just to say that I have a soul. Come on, somebody. It's quality. But that's when you start to love yourself. I was going here. Start to love yourself to understand that you're quality. So many people say, I desire a husband or a wife, but you walk around like some sort of peasant, using and abusing your body, using and abusing your mind. How can that be so? Or may I ask you what type of husband or wife do you desire to be? Right? Quality over quantity. If you are a wife, hold yourself like a wife. Talk like a wife. Educate yourself like a wife. The wife you desire to be. I believe that you're supposed to go into, look into, when you talk about help me, it's not all about being service. What can I give? So many people go into what can I take? So many takers in this world. That's why my givers, you have to have strong boundaries. Lessons I had to learn very harshly, I might say, because people will take advantage of you and won't have an inkling or any sort of care to do that. But we want to a lot of time punish them, but we have to come back to ourselves and say, but wait a minute, why did you accept that? Come on, now we are not victims. And when I say victim, I like to explain that. I'm not talking about someone who's physically or, verbally abused. I'm talking about the fact that we get to make choices in our life. We don't have to stay stuck. We don't have to stay in relationships and places that no longer serve us. Right? So if you're being taken advantage of and you know it and you decide to stay in it, that's on you, baby. It's not on that person. Fool me once, right? Shame on you. Fool me 2, 3, 4 times. That's shame on me. So again, so it leads me into this second part, okay, that I'm going to talk about after I get here with my singles. Stop worrying about if you have somebody to come home. Stop worrying about the questions. Here's the thing. When the questions come, shut it down if you're not ready to talk about it. Or you can just say, I've said this many a holiday. I'm cool with me. I love me enough. I'm enough for me and everybody else up in this piece. You understand me? Someone else being by my side doesn't define me. It doesn't. And it should add to me. Somebody need to hear that. If they are subtracting, something is wrong. The person that sits on your side should be adding to you. Okay? If they're just subtracting, if they're just taking away, that's something you may want to evaluate. Okay? So this is for my singles. Don't worry about the questions. Stop giving yourself anxiety. Start loving yourself enough to understand that whatever room you walk into, you're worthy just as you are, whether somebody's with you or not. Come on, somebody. That's what a wife is about. She walks in as a wife, understanding that that's already done because she's talked to her higher source and her God about it. Come on now. Same thing with my dudes. Stop rushing this. Any old body, just to have a body. Come on now. Those days are over. We're too grown for that. This is why working on your healing. So what would you say no to? Say no to any old thing and any old person. And, let's start getting into quality. And that comes with healing ourselves. So let's start saying no to those old beliefs that we don't need help in healing. Because that's an old belief. Everyone has blinders on. And I know you're thinking, like, I talk to my friends. Let me help you with something. Some of your friends are riding with your bull because they don't want to see you go higher. And I know that's hard to hear. I'm a person that has these gifts. So let's talk about this too. So we talk about going home and saying no and having boundaries. I don't just do this video podcast and stuff like that, right? I'm also a life coach. I'm a Reiki master, and I also do energy healers, right? So I do oracle calls and things of that nature. Everybody won't understand that, and they don't have to. So I shut the questions down if it's going to be a debate about something that I love and something that I know not only brings me closer to my higher source, but also brings people home to their higher source. You feel me? Everybody, and some people are committed to misunderstanding. They're committed to it. They just need to debate it. I don't need to debate that. I'm going into this holiday season like it's going to be love. And that's it, and that's all. And it's going to be celebration. And that means that if you're not celebrating me, if you're not celebrating the things that I love to do, then guess what? We're not talking about it. You see how that works? I have mentors, I have spiritual coaches, I have life coaches, I have therapists that I can talk about all the things with. You understand me? And that's not to say that your family doesn't have your best interests at heart, but if you already know where it's going to lead to, why do that to yourself? Just go celebrate. Many of us don't know how to just go have a good time. Happiness is a choice, and you can choose it just by saying no to some old things. Say no. Say no. And here's the thing. Are you preparing for what you prayed for? What must you say no to? Say no to the fact that you can do it on your own. Somebody needed to hear that. It is okay to have people in your life to help you along your journey. Most times we've tried it alone. I'm hearing the song in my ear right now by Marvin Sapp called Listen. So many of you tried your way. It didn't work. You put God second, and it's time to put him first. Your trusted friends. Come on, y'all. Thought they had your back. But every time you turn around, you under attack. Come on now. Listen, it's time. It's time to come home to yourself. It's time to come home to love. It's time to come home to plugging into your higher source. It's time to really let your higher self lead instead of your lower self. And when you're in that low vibration, that's when you're gossiping. When you're in that low vibration, that's when you're arguing. When you're in that low vibration, it's nothing but drama. When you're in that low vibration, it's depression and things of the past, things you cannot change. You cannot change someone else, and you cannot change your past. So you have to say, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, my past and other people. The courage to change the things that I can, myself and my thoughts in this present moment, and the wisdom to know the difference. God, move me forward with discernment, clarity, love, honesty, and truth. Because if I'm not truthful with myself, I can't be truthful with anyone else. Come on, somebody. What must you say no to? Say no to the fact that you can fix someone else. Say no to. I had to understand I need to get out of God's way. Somebody needs to hear this too. You so busy trying to fix on everybody else. Meanwhile, it's not your job. See, my job as a healer is to hold space for healing. It's not to say I can heal someone. That's God's job. It's God's job. It's not mine. It's my job is to hold space, to help open you up, open your mind up, expand your mind. Some of us are so closed-minded. We're only seeing from a one-level point of view when there's many different levels. I like to say that, I'm an eagle amongst eagle. I have that bird's eye view, honey. So I hope people open up their vision, open up your mind. That's so important. So what must you say no to? That closed-minded belief. That part. To walk into your new season so you can have the things you so desperately desire. If you desire financial freedom, are you a good steward over the little? You're desiring more, but are you taking care of what you have now? And most people, if you didn't learn through COVID that savings are so important and developing savings, and people say, well, how can I save? Let me help you. All the times that you've gone out to eat, all those times that you've gone on vacation and things you really couldn't afford, there was your savings. I said what I said, fight me later. Now, does that mean that you don't get to deserve vacation? That's not what I'm saying now. Yes, we all get to have the vacation, but you may have to think about doing it differently. Instead of a $3,000 vacation, maybe take $1,000 one and put the $2,000 in the bank. So then when times come up and you have an urgency, you have money there. You see what I'm saying? Or and it's also, what are you using your money for? I spend a lot of money on personal development. Why? I desire to better my best. And I understand that to be a multimillionaire, you cannot think like a thousandaire and or a hundredaire who just thinks of running behind money and never thinks of pouring into themselves. Quality over quantity. Hello, somebody. I'm going to say it. Poor people chase a bag, chase money. Rich people acquire things. Wealthy people seek to produce. I'll let that sink in on somebody. When you walk into your purpose, you never have to chase the bag. And I gave this analogy the other day, and I'm going to give this to you before I leave, because this is all tied to what must you say no to. You must say no to those lower level, low vibration things of, I'm just going to chase money and be greedy. That's why you're staying in the places you're staying. I'm telling you, you got to feel me on this. When you step into your purpose, I promise you step into your purpose and you connect to source, you're going to have the wealth that you desire. So I talk about this because I know a lot of young people, they're looking at, Meg Thee Stallion, they're looking at Cardi B, they're looking at the rappers, and some of us older people looking at the Jay-Z's and Beyonce and like, oh, they chased the bag. Listen, this is what I'm saying about being closed-minded. No, they didn't. They're living in their purpose. Their purpose was music. Somebody, come on. Their purpose was music. They stepped into their purpose. You ever hear Cardi sometimes, as ratchet as people say she sounds, as ghetto, she talks about God a lot? Come on, y'all. She's walking in her purpose. And I'm not saying that that's correct or that's right or wrong. I'm just telling you she's walking in her purpose, and that's why the money is flowing. Come on, guys, you got to hear this. We're in our 40s and 50s still talking about I'm doing anything for money. Are you serious? No. God sent me here to tell you throughout this video, this is why you're not achieving what you want to achieve, because you're so busy chasing things and money. Chase your purpose, and you'll never have to chase money a day in your life. What must you say no to open yourself up to the new things? What must you say no to? Say no to the fact that, say no to punishing God for what humans did. Start to learn God for yourself. Get in tune and in touch with your higher power. Yeah, I don't care what you call it, Buddha, Allah, a tree, whatever. Pick up a book and start reading. Let those words leap off the page and into your heart. Let it open you up. Please stop saying that God allowed some human to do something to you. Humans have free will. God did not allow any of that. It is time to come home, surrender. Surrender to the drama of it all. Let's start to quality. It's quality over quantity. Walk in the ways of being of what you desire. Say no to those low vibrations. If you desire to be a husband, if you desire to be a wife, walk in that. And that means that any and everything can't touch you, and any and everybody can't surround you, and any and everybody can't have access to your body, therefore having access to your soul. Do you understand me? You ever wonder why you off? That's why you laid down with somebody who's tied to some serious souls, and now they're on you, and you're spending so much time trying to get that up off you. This is why having a higher source and having a higher power to come to help you even understand that it's important. What must you say no to? Those lower level things, okay? It's time. It's time. And I hope you have the most amazing Sunday. I'm going to continue to expand on this even next week. And remember, www.mosass.com if you know you're ready to book. Info at Moe Sass if you don't know if you're ready to book, but you need to talk about some things. Life coaching with, not the whole word, just a W, Sass on Instagram and Facebook for daily inspiration. I love you for listening. Have the most amazing day. Say no.